Now that's one property of these pronouns, that they're in English they're ending with self or selves. The other property for these reflexive pronoun is when you use them, they are used when the subject and object when the subject and the object of the sentence are the same. And what do I mean by that? Let's look at the example. Okay, so these are the two properties. They're ending with self or selves. The second property is they're used when the subject and the object of a sentence are the same. So imagine I have a sentence called I believe in, let's say, Anna. Okay, in this case I am the subject, object is Anna. Okay, they are two different persons, and I'm not using, like, I'm just using her name here. I'm using I for myself. Okay, so in the first case, hopefully it should be clear that in the first case, subject and object are two different people. But if I have, instead of Anna, if I have to say I believe in, how do I say it? If I say I believe in Ashutosh, that sounds pretty creepy, right? I mean, what do you mean by that, right? So you have to use a something here to reflect that I believe in. Should I use the name or should I use a different kind of pronoun? Okay, and that's where you use the reflexive pronoun. So I will say I believe in myself. And you see, you're using in English, you are using the reflexive pronoun. Reflexive pronoun. So in this case, I is the subject and the object is also reflecting to the same person. Okay, so hopefully this part is clear. So just to summarize, because some people joined a bit late, we are covering a new topic called reflexive pronoun. Two properties of this pronoun: the pronouns that are ending with self or selves, such as myself, ourself, himself, herself. Second one is property is used when the subject and the object of the sentence are referring to the same person. In this example, when I say I believe in Anna, the subject and object are referring to two different people. In the second one, when I say I believe in myself, the myself is referring to the same person who is saying it. Okay, and that's why we are using a reflexive pronoun myself there. Okay, so that's the definition part of it. Now let's see what do we use in Hindi for reflexive pronouns. Okay, in English, if you think about it, all of them are different. Myself, himself, herself, ourselves, okay, themselves. In Hindi, there are few ways to say this thing. Okay, some are more popular in conversational Hindi, some are more formal. Okay, so what are those? So in Hindi, the most common one you will hear is khud. Khud. So it's kha with u and the khud. Okay, that's the one that you will hear it, recurringly. Second one you will hear is apne, aap, apne, aap. Okay, you will also hear.
What does khud mean?
Oh, khud. It's I'll cover the example, but it means it's a reflexive pronoun. It's a reflexive pronoun to demonstrate when you are saying a sentence, like this, the sentence that I wrote, I believe in Anna, that's मुझे आना पे विश्वास है. But if I were to say I believe in myself, how do I say myself in Hindi? I will use खुद there. Okay, so you will say मुझे खुद पे विश्वास है. Okay, hang in there. You will see more examples and that will clarify your doubt. Okay, so there are multiple ways of saying it. Like one is khud, second one is apne aap. And you might argue, what do you mean by apne aap? So that's also another way of saying myself, himself, herself in a given sentence, in Hindi. You will also hear aap, which is another pronoun, but it's also used as a reflexive pronoun. Okay, one which is more formal is called swayam. Okay, swayam. Swayam is more formal, but it's also used you will see in the textbooks. Some people even use it, in a day-to-day conversation. So that's fine as well. So it's half sa, va, and ya with the nasalized sound. Swayam. Okay, so these are the different ways you can use. You can, in Hindi, you can use them to show the notion of a reflexive pronoun. Okay, now the question is, how do we use them in a sentence? Because right now this is still a concept. Okay, so with that,
Ashu Ji, which one is the most common used? I know could, but is apne up the other one, or
apne aap is the second one that is most commonly used.
okay?
Yeah. If you ask me which one I use, because it will change from region to region, but if you ask me, I will use this and this the most common. But that doesn't mean that they are not like used. You should know all of them. You should feel comfortable using at least one of them. But if somebody else is using, as long as you know, you'll be fine. That you will immediately recognize that they're using other ways, but it means that they are talking about themselves, or the subject and the object are referring to the same person.
I think there's a dot right above swayam.
Yeah, swayam. That's right. There's a dot on top. Okay. Now, one more thing I want to tell you before I get into as you know, when in many grammatical constructs in Hindi, when they're followed by postposition, we use their oblique case. Now, reflexive pronouns are no different, but the good thing is, even when they're used in the oblique case, and if this concept is new for some of you, just hang in there, it'll make sense. The oblique case of khud is exactly same. The oblique case of apne aap is also apne aap. The oblique case of swayam is also swayam. The only thing that changes is aap becomes apne. Okay, when it is used along with a postposition, aap becomes apne. Okay, we will cover one example of it, but rest of them should be straightforward. So even if you are using any postposition after khud pe, when I say mujhe khud pe vishwas hai. So even when I use pe after khud, I'm not changing khud. Okay, when I'm saying mujhe apne aap pe vishwas hai, I trust myself. I'm mujhe, apne aap, after that I'm using pe, but apne aap is still the same. Okay, I'm not changing that. So I know there are some younger folks as well. The oblique case is new probably for you, but as I said, hang in there. It'll be clear to you. Okay, so now I'll start with very simple examples of using,
Ashu Ji,
yeah.
Can I know you? Yes, it's apne aap viswas hai means I believe in myself.
Say it one more time.
Apne aap vishwas hai.
Apne aap pe. I'm using a postposition after that. Mujhe. So I'll let me cover one example first, and then I'll cover this one. Okay, I'll start with a very simple one. Okay. So let's start with a very basic example, without using the reflexive pronoun first, and then we'll try to fit in the reflexive pronoun in that sentence. So let's say you have a sentence in which you will say, I will go. Okay, I want all of you to try and write it in Hindi. How will you say that in Hindi? Okay, I will go. It's a very simple sentence. It's written in future indefinite. You know the verb go. You know the pronoun aap. Okay, sorry, main, which is I. And you know how to conjugate this verb for future. So for the sake of this conversation, Olina ji, how will you say I will go in Hindi?
मैं जाऊंगी.
Okay, so for you, you will say मैं जाऊंगी. For a guy, singular, it will be मैं जाऊंगा. No problem here. It's a very simple sentence. I will go. Okay. Sometimes you want to stress that I will go myself. Okay. I will go myself. I and myself are referring to the same person. Okay. How will you say that in Hindi now? Okay. Olina ji?
मैं खुद मैं जाऊंगी.
Very good, right? So all you have done is, instead of saying मैं जाऊंगी, you put in here मैं खुद जाऊंगी. Okay. You can also say मैं अपने आप जाऊंगी. Okay. You can also say मैं स्वयं जाऊंगी. Now, as I said, it's swayam is more formal, so you can use it, but as long as your rest of the Hindi is also in alignment, okay, so that way it make perfect sense, right? I mean, if you are very beginner, I definitely would recommend you use khud or apne aap. Okay, as you get more and more fluency and as you get advanced, your rest of the sentence structure and vocabulary will come across accordingly, and then you can use swayam as well. Okay, any questions on this one? Because this is a very basic one. I'm happy to take any questions, comments here before we move on to the more advanced examples.
What's the difference between aapne aap and aap?
Yeah, what is the difference? No, they are aap can have other meanings as well, like for example, you. Okay, so you have to really see in a given sentence how is aap used. Is it used as a simple pronoun where aap kaise hain, like how are you, or whether it is used as yourself. Okay, we will cover one example in this class where aap is used as a reflexive pronoun. So aap can be used as a pronoun, as I said, like how are you, aap kaisi hain. Aap can also be used as a as a reflexive one. Okay.
Could we see it in script, the Banagari?
Yeah, for sure. Which one? All of them?
Well, at least the first one.
Okay. So khud, yes, very good. Right. So khud is you have a kh with u and then the khud. Okay.
No, I meant
Second word is yes. Yeah, you were saying something. I interrupted you.
I meant the sentence. May could jaungi jaunga.
Yes, for you, you will say मैं खुद जाऊंगा. I will go myself. If you want to say I will go myself, you will say मैं खुद जाऊंगा. Okay.
Ashu
You want
Ji?
to write? You want me to write them as also in Devanagari? Is that what you were saying?
Yes.
I see. Okay.
Yes.
Fine. So you will have a मैं, kh with u, and then the जाऊंगा. मैं खुद जाऊंगा. I will go myself. Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome. So now let's look at another example. Okay, and we'll build on top of it. So hopefully the basics are clear. Now let's see. So far we used a tense which is basically in future indefinite. Now what if I want to say two sentences? Okay, and I want all of you to try. The first one is she went. Okay, and it could be anywhere, like she went to to the hospital, or she went to the railway station or airport. That's the first one. The variation is she went herself. I'm not putting the location here just to keep the sentence structure a bit simple, because we have students from all levels, but but feel free to extend it, like she went to the hospital, and she went to the hospital herself. I want all of you to try how do you say this one and this one in Hindi. Okay, this can be hard because it's to go is jana in Hindi, but in the past tense it's different, right? Let's see, someone who has not tried before. Anushka, you want to give it a try? She went. How will you say in Hindi?
How do you
Yeah.
say went?
Say it again one
How
more
do you
time.
say went?
Yeah. So it becomes jana becomes gaya for a boy or gai for a girl. So you will say, now you know how to say went in Hindi. You have gaya and gai.
The guy.
Very good. Right. Very good. No, you will not put hai because this is in the past tense. If it is a present tense, you will put hai. Okay. So you will say vah.
Hello.
Yeah. So I think there is some background noise. So you will say vah gai for she went. Okay. Now, how will you say she went herself? Anushka, you have to unmute and tell us how will you say this, that she went herself.
The guy.
Remember, we just said like there are few ways you can say that. So what were the
The swayam
yes?
guy.
Awesome. Very good, right? So there are multiple ways to say that. You can say वह स्वयं गई, you can say वह खुद गई, you can say वह अपने आप गई. Okay, all of them are correct. Okay, so you can say वह hospital खुद गई. Okay, she was so sick, वह इतनी बीमार थी that she went to hospital herself. वह खुद hospital गई. Okay, so hopefully this makes sense. Anaji, you are thinking.
I
Question.
noticed some people, I can see a comment where it says, because one of the examples earlier, you had pay. And I think in this case, it's just vokud gai, but somebody put kud pay gai. Can you explain why you added the pay?
Yeah,
in
because
the
right now,
sentence?
yeah. So there is no need right now to use any postposition. When you put trust on somebody, like there is a postposition that even in English, like there is a notion of it, like I put my trust upon you. In this case, even in English, right, there is no really use of a postposition. So by in itself, you will always use khud, or swayam or apne aap. This is just like any other Hindi or English sentence. If there is a use of a postposition, then you will use pay after that. Yeah. I think I'll use an example to illustrate this point. Okay. So far so good, right? So these examples hopefully should make sense. So let's look at,
Ashu Ji,
yeah.
is there another way of saying is, for example, when you use the mujhe, you use the pe, but if you have to use the maybe uska, unka, those kind of things, then you will use the postposition more kind of like a pe or ko, khud pe, and like that will come.
I won't put a rule like that,
No.
Radhika ji. I won't put a rule like,
Okay.
by default that the moment you have aapka, that there is nothing like that. Like, so,
Okay.
but I will cover some examples just to make sure that, that, so I want to, yeah, I will definitely use an example to illustrate, but I do want you to try this, all of you to try this one. Okay. I will do this work. I will do this work. That's the first one. And the second one is I will do this work myself. I will do this work myself. Okay, both of you, all of you, I'll give you some time. So this is your few minutes to try it one more time, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so let's see how you guys are doing. And okay, Harpriya ji, you want to tell? Oh, sorry, Suzan ji, you want to tell us? I will do this work, and I will do this work myself.
ठीक है मैं यह काम करूंगी
Okay, very good. So मैं यह काम is this work. So मैं यह काम, and the verb here is karna, which is to do. And for future indefinite, you are saying मैं यह काम करूंगी, because a feminine singular. Okay, I will do this work myself.
मैं यह काम मैं खुद करूंगी
वेरी गुड. मैं ये काम खुद करूंगी, मैं ये काम अपने आप करूंगी, और मैं ये काम स्वयं करूंगी. नाउ जस्ट लाइक इन इंग्लिश, I myself will do this work. Sometimes you say that as well. You can say I will do this work myself, or I myself will do the work, when you want to put a lot of emphasis on yourself, right? So in Hindi,
would that change? Would you put मैं खुद यह काम
yes,
करूंगी?
that's right. That's what I was gonna say. So right now I said मैं यह काम खुद करूंगी. If you want to put emphasis on yourself, मैं खुद यह काम करूंगी. Okay, you can say that too, and that's correct. Okay, मैं यह काम खुद करूंगी, और मैं खुद यह काम करूंगी. Okay, now you can say he did, and this is the question for people, all the students who are worried about postpositions. Okay, Radhika ji, like, so same thing. If I have to say it in the past, she did the work herself. How will you say that? She did the work. First, do this one. She did the work. Second one is she did the work herself. Radhika ji, you want to give it a try? The first one, she did the work.
She did the work. उसने she did the work. उसने काम किया.
Very good, right? So उसने काम किया. Explain it. How did you come up with it? Because a lot of students
Because it's a transitive work. Doing work is a karna is a transitive work.
Karna is a transitive verb, which is
So that is why it become she become उसने.
Okay, so वह becomes उसने, because
Yeah, वह become उसने, and then the काम is the काम. What karna become a kiya in the transitive. Kiya, ki.
Okay, very good. उसने काम किया. Now, how will you say she did the work herself?
उसने खुद को काम किया.
उसने
खुद को or खुद पे, I don't know.
Okay.
खुद को. In my head it comes
So
खुद को.
you will not say को. Either you can say उसने खुद काम किया.
Okay.
Or you can also see the scenarios where they'll say उसने खुद ने काम किया. Because you are saying ने after this, you are also saying ने after this. उसने खुद ने काम किया. Okay. I think someone is raising their hand. Maybe you can ask a question.
Okay.
I think someone else. Okay. Any questions here, or is it still like So you see, I'm using postposition, but khud is still the khud. It's not
Why
changing.
do I put this? Because it's past. I have to put the ne also under the could for myself. This is the
Yeah.
reason.
So one theory here is because no, not because of काम. उसने खुद ने काम किया. Okay, because you see it's used in the past tense, and just like you're putting ne after वह, just like that, because खुद it's not really like reflecting something that in itself something is done in the past or not, right? So you're putting, either you can say उसने खुद काम किया or उसने खुद ने काम किया. Okay. I see that you guys are still thinking, so let me share more examples. Perhaps that will clarify it. Okay, but anyway, any more? I understand this is still like a topic that is going on, but any other doubts or questions?
But do you have to put the ne at the could? You said you could.
You do not have to.
Okay.
You don't have to.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I was just now, because that's going on in the back of my mind, I'm thinking more and more ways to show you where I can put ne afterwards.
And
one
for
question.
the other ones, apne and up.
You can say उसने अपने आप काम किया. That's correct. You don't have to put anything after that. उसने अपने आप काम किया. उसने स्वयं काम किया. There is no need to put postposition after that.
Just one more question.
Yeah.
please.
Yes.
I lost connection. I didn't hear how we got into the. How did we get from that to us?
So is that question how we
Why
got
we
from
go into the.
is the question how we got from वह to उसने? I
Yes,
think your voice was breaking, so that's why I'm repeating the question one more time. Is that the question?
Yes.
Ji haan, Professor.
Yeah. So that's a great question, right? So I would definitely recommend, look for in the tiny.cc Hindi University, look for a lecture on the use of ne. Okay. In summary, so in Hindi, typically when we start, we talk about verbs in general. But as we go into the intermediate advanced state, we talk about the verbs can, in a broader way, classified into transitive verb and intransitive verb. Okay. In transitive verb, there is a direct object that is receiving the action. Okay. To do the work is considered a transitive verb because you do the work on something, right? So when we use transitive verbs in the past tense, which we are doing in this case, we use ne with the pronoun. The pronoun here, when you say she works, this is simple. You will say वह काम करती है, right? As simple, because it's present tense, she works. Same thing if it is said in the past tense, she did the work. Because to work is transitive verb, which is said in past tense, we use ne along with the pronoun. वह ने, which becomes उसने. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, hopefully this clarifies it. Now let's see some more examples. What are the most common scenario where you will hear people using this reflexive pronoun? So I'm gonna this time break down like a big sentence, which is about, and I'll combine all of them. So let's say you have to break down like parts of the sentence, which is tell me. Okay, I'm gonna write it down here. I want all of you to tell me how do you say it in Hindi. In Hindi, how do you say tell me? Second one is about. Third one is yourself. Okay. Let's see. Rita ji, you want to tell me? How do you say tell me in Hindi?
Mujhe bato.
मुझे बताओ और मुझे
Yeah, mujhe
बताइए.
yeah.
Either way is fine, right? It's imperative sentence.
Mm-hmm.
मुझे बताइए. And why did you say मुझे? Somebody can ask you, like, why it's why
Oh, to
why?
me, so
Very
because
good.
to me, well, yeah, you add the ko and muj may plus ko is muj ko or mujhe.
Okay, so she's
To me,
saying
basically, I'm saying to me, tell me, like not, yeah.
that's right. So she's saying in Hindi, when you want to say tell me, that means tell something to me. Okay, so to me is basically मैं plus ko, which is मुझे. Okay, and to tell is batana, but because the tone is imperative, you're saying मुझे बताओ और मुझे बताइए. Second one, Rita ji, about
के बारे में.
के बारे में. Very good, right? के बारे में. Yourself.
That's where you throw me.
we learned 4 different ways.
I know. So food.
You can say khud,
Food swaya.
swayam,
Swaya
okay,
or up,
apne aap,
apne,
and in this case, I want to use, let's say, aap.
up.
Okay. Now, let's say you meet a new person, you want to know more about them. In English, you will naturally say, tell me more, please tell me more about yourself. Right? That's probably how you will say. How do you say the same thing in Hindi? Please tell me more about yourself. And that's a very good conversation starter when you are meeting a new person, right? And that's a very good use of reflexive pronoun. Please tell me more about yourself. So Rita ji, help me bring everything together. We already dissected the sentence.
Okay, so mujhe apne bare mein aur bataye.
Okay, so you already answered my question, but how did you do it?
Okay. Mujhe or mujhko. Then the
Uh-huh.
apne is the, okay, to me, apne is tell yourself, and then about
No,
is the bade mein.
but here's the thing, you used apne.
Yes.
How did you use apne? That's the question.
Oh, well, because you is op, and I just used apne to change it to yourself.
Very good, right? So you're saying is,
Yeah.
you have aap plus ke bare mein.
Yeah.
Right?
So
It becomes an oblique case. Then remember, there was only one pronoun. When it changes to oblique case, aap
because
becomes
about is a
apne.
postposition, so you change the op to apne.
Very good. It becomes apne bare mein. Okay? Aap plus ke bare mein becomes apne bare mein. So I hope you wrote it down. You can also say मुझे खुद के बारे में कुछ बताइए. That's not a problem. For those who are still not clear on this oblique case part, feel free to rely on the other constructs. But as Rita ji said, you will say मुझे अपने बारे में. Now let's say you want to say tell me something about yourself. For that something you can say कुछ. Okay, मुझे अपने बारे में कुछ बताइए. Tell me something about yourself. Okay, try to think a little bit more on this. Tell me if this still is not clear, or if this is still kind of throwing you off. But why don't we take a break? Let's see if it is throwing some people off.
I have one question.
Go for it.
I don't understand why you dropped the key there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's an oblique case. This apne has embedded k in it. So just like, so here's the thing. So just like here, to me is, how do you say to me in Hindi? It's main plus ko. It becomes mujhe
Mujhko.
or mujhko, right? one could argue, I don't see ko here, but it's part of मैं. मैं plus ko becomes मुझे. Okay. So to simplify for you, आप plus के बारे में, this results in अपने बारे में.
Okay.
Does it make
What would
sense?
What would it look like if you used could?
You will say खुद के बारे में.
Could
So
के.
if it is, you know, if it is, so that's a good one, right? If it is खुद, you will say खुद के बारे में.
Thank
So
you.
you can say a simple rule that every time when after up postposition follows, then I make apne, yeah?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Any other questions? Anyone? Younger folks? Trisha, everyone, making sense or is too hard? Trisha, why don't you unmute yourself and tell me, is it okay or too hard? Thumbs up, thumbs down. All right, good. Feel free
It's
to
a
ask.
little easy, it's a little hard, it's both.
What?
It's a little easy and a little hard.
It's okay. I see. It's hard and easy at the same time. Okay, hang in there. Okay, the more we do, the more practice we do, it will get clearer. Okay. Now let's do some more quizzes. This one, these two will be easier, and after that, I'm gonna just. So these are the in-class exercise, and I want all of you to do it quickly so we can make some progress. Okay. So he made the coffee. He made the coffee himself. I'm not breaking it down. My earlier thought was I'll have two sentences. He made the coffee, then he made the coffee himself. So I want all of you to do it in class. Okay, we just do it now. The second one is, I'm going to write it in Romanagri and you have to tell me what does it mean. And I'm saying uske paas अपने लिए तो समय ही नहीं है. Okay, so this could be a little bit harder, but try to break it down. And the ask here is read it and tell me what it means. And the third one is you have to translate. I was in a hurry, so I washed the car myself. I washed the car myself. Some of this can be hard because the words can be new for some of you. Like to wash is saaf karna or dhona, right? So feel free to ask those questions. To make is banana, okay? So you can do it in class, no pressure. If it is hard, you know, as I always say, you can ask me. Or you can really see the chat and see how your other classmates are doing it, right? I mean, it's you learn a lot more with that as well. Okay, so let's do and always, like, you know, when you see the correction, try to see where you know, if there's, even if you made a small error, try to see where you made it. So Tom, you want to give us the first one? He made the coffee himself.
Yes, if I may, please. The verb to make is a transitive verb because you make something.
Mm-hmm.
So va becomes an oblique form of va or vo and becomes usne.
Mm-hmm.
Usne, the coffee, And then I'm going to throw my could in here, displaying usne could coffee kia.
Banana becomes
Or banana banaya.
coffee is feminine.
Banai. Thank you, Professor.
Very good, very good, awesome. I'm so impressed. So Tom is saying it will be उसने खुद coffee बनाई. Okay, if you were to just say he made the coffee, उसने coffee बनाई, and he could have made the coffee for anyone, right? For you, for me, for all of us. But in this case, we are saying he made the coffee, himself, right? I mean, not for, but I think in this case, like he made the coffee himself, right? So उसने खुद coffee बनाई. Next one, उसके पास अपने लिए तो समय ही नहीं है. This one is hard. Okay, so I'm gonna, Anna ji, you want to tell us what is? Try to break it down. It's a long sentence. उसके पास अपने लिए तो समय नहीं है.
But I don't know if it's right. Yeah. So उसके पास he has for himself no time.
Very good. Yeah. Very good. Awesome. When will you say that? This sentence?
When someone is permanently busy and doesn't find a minute to relax.
Yeah, exactly. When someone is so busy that they don't have any minute to relax. Okay. So उसके पास is, say it again.
उसके पास he has.
He has. Okay. So just like he has a pen, उसके पास laptop है, उसके पास car है, he has a car. Okay. Yes, and then
अपने is for himself, so लिए for, then himself, no?
Yes, that's right. अपने लिए is for himself.
Then समय is time.
समय is time.
So the he is only to point out that, right? Okay.
Yeah. So that's right. So in a very simple way, if you want to just say he has time or he has no time, you will say उसके पास समय नहीं है. Okay. If I say I have time, I will say I have some. मेरे पास समय है और मेरे पास समय नहीं है. Okay. But we threw in couple of keywords here, which is अपने लिए. I have no time for myself. मेरे पास अपने लिए समय नहीं है. Okay. But we put in two additional fancy words. He, which is this one, he, and sto. And if you're a beginner, worried about like, oh, I don't know when to put to and he, don't worry about it. This is just because we have students from all levels, right? So this is just to make it, engaging and entertaining for everyone. Okay. Last one, I was in a hurry, so I washed the car myself. JD, you want to do this one? I was in a hurry. If this is hard, just do parts of it.
No, I can't do that. That's...
Okay, it's okay. So it's okay. No worries at all. Okay. Let's see. Sunita, you want to do this one? I was in a hurry, so I washed the car myself.
मैं जल्दी थी और मैं जल्दी में थी.
Okay, very good.
तो मैं गाड़ी खुद साफ की.
Okay, very good. So मैं जल्दी में थी. Okay, मैं जल्दी में थी. Okay, I was in a hurry. जल्दी में थी. In a hurry is जल्दी में. I washed the car myself. Sunita ji, say it one more time.
तो मैं गाड़ी.
It's a past tense. Yeah. So
मैंने गाड़ी खुद साफ की.
Okay, so मैंने गाड़ी खुद साफ की. Okay, now let me.
Ashu Ji,
Yeah.
can I use the verb here, doya? like मैंने खुद पे गाड़ी धोई
You can say that. You can say that. मैंने खुद गाड़ी धोई. You can say that. Now, this may be hard for some of you. So this one is मैं जल्दी में थी. Okay. This is something like I'm in a hurry right now. मैं जल्दी में हूँ. But this is used in the past tense. So मैं जल्दी में थी because this is Sunita ji saying it. Okay. For male मैं जल्दी में था. So I wash is मैं साफ करता हूँ. Okay, that's present tense. But just like before, I washed. But you wash something. There is an object that is receiving this action. In this case, that's a car. So that's why you put मैं. Along with that, you put a postposition ने. And that's why you said तो मैंने. Okay, car साफ. Okay, now because this is a transitive verb used in the past tense, your object is determining the form of karna. Because car is feminine, karna becomes ki. Okay, if it is house, मैंने खुद घर साफ. Ulina ji, how will you end it? Because घर is masculine, it will be Ulina ji.
Yes.
How will you say? If you wash the house yourself instead of a car.
घर मैंने घर खुद साफ किया.
Very good. Okay, because घर is masculine, car is feminine, you put ki. But घर is masculine, so it would be मैंने खुद घर साफ किया. Okay. In a way, it's a good refresher because we've forgotten about, in a sense, like we have not done a quick revision on it. Okay. Any questions, anyone? It took some long time on this one, but I'm okay. I'm happy to spend time as long as it's helping. Randall ji, your thoughts?
Ji, I think I get in there. Maybe
Getting it?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Feel free to be brutally honest, folks. I mean, there's no, the whole point is that something you may not understand because of the previous concepts, but as long as the core concept of this class, which is like the reflexive pronoun, as long as that makes sense, you will build on top of it. Okay. So now I want you as a homework exercise to think about at least 3 sentences. Okay, all of you, and you can post it on the WhatsApp group. Make 3 sentences using the reflexive pronoun. Okay, where in your day-to-day conversation, monitor when you're using sentences where you're using self or selves. Okay, and say it in Hindi and tell me which one those are. Okay, we still have some more time, so I want to wrap up chapter number 15, which is and the topic called inverted postposition. And Rupert Snell doesn't go into the detail, so we may not cover all of them in depth, but I think these are if you remember, postpositions were multiple types. We started with ka, ke, ki, ne, pe, se. Okay, now we also covered compound postpositions, ke paas, se dur. Right, now he covers inverted postpositions, ke bina. Okay, ke bina, which means without. Ke bina is without. At least you should all memorize what it means. Ke bina is without. Ke bina. So if I say without water, okay, how will I say Trisha if I want to say without water? You know, water.
के बिना पानी
Okay, so it's pani ke bina.
पानी है के ना
Pani ke bina. Okay, so think about this is your form 1. Pani ke bina. Okay, Rupert Snell is saying that we can change the location of it and it still has the same meaning. That's why they're called inverted postposition, which means you have bina ke. So just like you said pani here, you put in the first place and you said pani ke bina. He's saying you can change the location and you can say bina pani ke. Bina pani ke. Pani is water. Okay, and it still has the same meaning. So even though you change the location of it, that's why they are known as inverted postposition. Okay, let's put something else instead of water. Let's put electricity. Okay, electricity is bijli. Okay, Navneet, you want to unmute and tell us? Just say without electricity in Hindi.
Electricity ke bina.
Electricity ke bina. Electricity is bijli, so you can say bijli ke bina, or you can say
Bina bijli ke.
Bina bijli ke or bina electricity ke. Awesome, great. Let's use some other nouns here. Vatsala ji, great to have you. You want to tell us a different noun we use without water, we use without electricity? You can say something else. Money, how about that?
पैसे के बिना.
Very good, right? So you can say paise because it's ke bina, paisa becomes paise, paise ke bina. And this one is bina,
पैसे के
bina paise, bina without money, bina paise ke. Okay. So I hope it makes sense why we are calling them inverted postposition. Okay, because it still has the same meaning if you change the form. Okay. Now making sentences, Rupert Snell doesn't cover it, but all the sentences I could have just said life is difficult without this. Okay, जिंदगी मुश्किल है बिना पानी के और पानी के बिना जीना मुश्किल है, और you know इलेक्ट्रिसिटी के बिना जीना मुश्किल है, और you can say पैसे के बिना जीना मुश्किल है. Okay, so don't worry about sentences as of this, you know, as long as you understand the concept. Okay, ke bina is without, just remember that. Okay, and then there are two forms that we covered. Then he covered some more postpositions, which is instead of. Instead of. Okay, instead of, right? So here it's ke bajai. It's j sound, not her. So just pay attention to it. Ke, b, j with a and here. Ke bajai. Okay, so you probably have heard of these more commonly. He came by car. He came by car instead of a taxi. Instead of a taxi. I'm going a little bit fast here with my regular pace, so don't be surprised. And in case if you have to leave because you have some commitment, you know, don't feel bad about it. Okay, he came by car instead of a taxi. How will you say that? So let's try just this part first. He came by car. Sharmila ji, he came by car.
वह गाड़ी से आई. उसने गाड़ी से आई.
No, this is, you're good.
वह गाड़ी से आया.
वह कार से आया और वह कार से आई. Okay, for a male, वह कार से आया. How will you say instead of a taxi?
टैक्सी से नहीं, टैक्सी से नहीं, टैक्सी के बजाय.
Yeah. Okay, वह कार से आया टैक्सी के बजाय. I mean, if they both are same, you can say train. Okay, that's easier. वह कार से आया ट्रेन के. Okay, you can also put it here. वह ट्रेन के बजाय कार से आया. Okay, this is a bit fast, but the key thing is instead of in Hindi is के बजाय. Okay, you can say मैं एलर्जिक हूँ. I am allergic. इसलिए मैं वीट के बजाय राइस खाती हूँ. ओके, वीट के बजाय इंस्टेड ऑफ अ वीट आई ईट राइस. मैं राइस खाता हूँ और मैं राइस खाती हूँ. ओके, सो इफ आई हैव टू गिव यू होमवर्क हियर, आई वांट यू टू राइट डाउन instead of something here and just practice that part. Instead of wheat is गेहूं के बजाय, instead of rice is चावल के बजाय, instead of water is पानी के बजाय. Okay, questions here? Anna ji? No? Okay, too fast, too slow?
It's fine for me.
Fine. Okay. There are two more. Okay. So we just covered, before this we covered without. Okay, without was ke bina, and instead of is ke bajay. Okay, there are two more. Okay, there are two more that Rupert Snell covers. Okay, and which is basically on account of. This is not used that popularly, but he says ke mare. Okay, and then this is the third one, and then the one he uses is except for, or basically apart from. This one is very popular, which is ke siva. Okay, we should spend some more time on these. Okay, because of time, I don't want to rush it too much, then it'll not make sense. Okay, so why don't I, even though it's moving it to the next class, so be it. Okay, why don't we spend some more time on inverted postposition in the next class. Okay, and we will spend more time making sentences on that I have everything. When let's say I'm making a sabji and I want to say that I have everything except for onion, okay, to cook the meal. Okay, so I'll say मेरे पास सब कुछ है, मेरे पास onion के सिवा सब कुछ है. Okay, so all those kind of sentences we will make in the next class. But that gives you some time to practice also. Okay, and come back with your questions. I know we are 4 minutes over, so I'll probably wrap up here. So for folks who joined live on Facebook, thank you so much.